Just how serious is this for Jay-Z?
Well, it's very serious, Becky, as you indicated, not just in terms of potential civil liability, but also it opens up the prospect that there could be a criminal investigation by prosecutors in the Southern District of New York. Also, it opens up the possibility of other lawsuits. We've seen when high-profile men like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Sean Combs are sued by one individual, it emboldens, it gives courage, it gives strength to other potential claimants to come forward and file additional lawsuits. And although this is the first time we've heard Jay-Z's name mentioned in a lawsuit of this kind, we should note that when this lawsuit was originally filed, it was filed with celebrity number one, and now we know that that is Jay-Z indeed.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Meloney P podcast. I'm your girl, Meloney P. And we are here to have a conversation. You see, I got the glasses on, so you know it's going to give reporter energy today, y'all. I am not happy about what I'm coming to you about today, y'all. Jay-Z. They have come after Jay-Z. And I'm really not here for it. I'm not here for it. And the first person I want to blame is Cat Williams. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. You started the year out, and now every month it's somebody different, somebody new, y'all. But let's get into it. So Jay-Z responds to girlable allegations. My only heartbreak is for my family. In a statement Jay-Z wrote about sitting his 3 children, possibly 4, down to explain the lawsuit, he said he mourns yet another loss of innocence. Jay-Z has responded to a civil lawsuit alleging that he assaulted a 13-year-old girl in 2000. The rapper and business mogul, whose real name is Sean Carter, denied the allegations in a statement issued on Rock Nation X. He underlined the impact that he believed the lawsuit will have on his wife, Beyonce, and their 3 children. The federal lawsuit was originally filed in October against Sean Diddy Combs and was refiled in New York on December 8th to include Carter. The filing was made by an anonymous accuser identified only as Little Jane Doe. The lawsuit alleges the incident took place at a 2000 Video Music Awards after party and that Carter and Combs drugged and raped the plaintiff. It was one of 5 lawsuits filed against Sean Combs in the Southern District of New York by Texas-based attorney Tony Busby. This October, which alleges Combs sexually assaulted or essayed plaintiff, all of whom unnamed, NBC reported. Now, I kind of want to get to the response of what Jay-Z said, but I also want to point something out that I wonder if you guys detected. You know, when it comes to news, one thing I have learned as I have gotten older and have gotten into this whole game of it all is that the news is architected to convey a certain message. And I cannot wait until it's all over, said and done, and we understand who backs the news, what powerhouse backs the news, because I really do think that everything is calculated. If you look at the news, you know that certain things that you would think should be plastered everywhere, certain missing people, certain demographics of people who harm come to, we don't see a lot of it. But then things like this, we begin to see the narrative take place and unfold. And I say that to say, if you remember, in the past couple of weeks, we've kept seeing that MTV 2000 award where that little girl was back behind the stage, backstage with P. Diddy and Jay-Z. And we started seeing that clip play a lot. And I can't help but to think that they were kind of warming us up for what was going to come out. Now, Jay-Z said that his heartbreak is for his family, his wife, and he said, it's my wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims. Explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Now, I want to get into Jay-Z's response because there's been a lot of people saying that his response, the verbiage, the narrative in his response is giving very emotional. It's giving very like defensive. Even on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of people say that, you know, his response almost makes him, it's giving catty, like I'm going to get you back. And, you know, typically it would be, we'll let the lawyers handle this, but he gave a lot of emotion behind his response. Jay-Z said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer, in quotes, named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had been the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for your fraud, for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So now I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine? Marines are known for their valor and have neither honor, you have neither honor nor dignity. Then the whole heart breaks up about his family. My heart and support goes out to true victims in this world who have to watch how their story is dressed in a costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I am not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games, child. Where I'm from, we have very strict code of honor. We protect our children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake psychics, is that psychics? Yeah. Psychics will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me. If not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. One thing I often say on this episode when it comes to these celebrities and their response back to just different situations that they face in the media, on social media specifically, is to take a page out of Beyonce's book and to say less, to say less, to say less. Okay. First, I'm going to say this. I do think that there's a push to get a lot of the hip hop industry to get them, you know, like Cat Williams said in the beginning of the year, you're going to see a lot of people be called to the front, called to their day of reckoning. But what I want us to understand is that he's innocent until proven guilty. You know, now I will say this response I wouldn't have done, but I get why he did. The conversation and the narrative that this is a very emotional response and, you know, it wasn't a smart response on Jay-Z's behalf. And it almost makes him look even more guilty for having such emotions in a response. I don't agree with, because here's the thing. In what I read and how I'm reading it and how I'm interpreting it, if somebody was to blame me for the most heinous, horrible, evil, gross thing that someone could do, and I know for sure that I did not do it, I'm going to give this kind of response. I truly am, because this isn't saying that, oh, somebody cheated or, oh, this is the most disgusting, deplorable that there is. You know, when you have a family, like he said, when you have a wife and you have children, when you have daughters, you know, that will be impacted by these allegations, I would do the same thing. And to me, it makes me feel like he is more innocent for clapping back. I do think that he has a smart team behind him. I do think that obviously he sought counsel with his lawyers, but also with Beyonce. You know, I've seen some people say that some of the moves that Beyonce has been making lately, and I spoke about this before, it just seems like, all these different business ventures, all these different, you know, liquor, makeup, you know, wash, all these things, you know, now she's going to be performing, I think on the Super Bowl or some other sports situation. Like, where's all this coming from? Is this her attempt to start to distance herself away from her husband? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so. I think that she's going to continue to play the part of mum's the word. And at the end of the day, Jay-Z's a grown man. And if I'm certain that Beyonce advised him to be like, don't say anything. But if he is 100% 10 toes down that he did not do this, I would do the same thing. There is no way that you're going to blame me for something so sick and disgusting and try to attach me to Diddy because he's in jail. And now you want to put me in jail. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And if I know for sure that I am innocent, I'm giving the same emotional response with all of the one-liners that Jay-Z did, I don't know, y'all. Let me know what you think about Jay-Z and now he's being pulled into the Diddy of it all. I don't like it. I will always stand with the black man, child, with black people. And I just don't like the thought of this being a cash grab and they're trying to be some type of association and like, oh, well, we've seen you in the pictures with Diddy, so let's come after you next. I like it. I like that he has, stood 10 toes down. Like, let's see what you're going to do. Like, again, would I have made this such an emotional public response? I can say no, because it's not me, but I definitely feel like if it was me and I knew for sure that I did not do it, I would do the same thing. I feel like people are going to start coming from the woodworks with their interpretation of what's going on. By the end of the day, this is black and this is white, and this is what our legal system is for. Now, again, I feel like Jay-Z did reference, make this a criminal case, not a civil one. But I do believe that we run into the issue of the statute of limitations. This was back in 2000. It's now 2024. So I don't think that making this a civil case is actually an option. And I think that there's been a lot of back and forth between the lawyer Busby and Jay-Z. There also seems to be a lot of things that have been conspiring before this has come out to the mainstream media between Busby, his law firm, and Jay-Z's law firm. And at the end of the day, fuck this. I just don't think that we should give it any shine until there's true evidence. Who is Jane Doe? I agree with Jay-Z. We live in a world now where me too. And listen, victims, do what you got to do, child, if you feel like you've been a victim or whatever. But I always say this, celebrities can be victims too. People prey on celebrities because they know that they have the access, they have the money. And it's interesting time in that now all of a sudden this Jane Doe from 2000 situation, now she wants to make this a public case. I'm not shaming the victim. If this happened, then definitely whoever did this needs to be held accountable. But I also think that we can't just listen to a random Busby lawyer who seems to have a track record of doing these kind of overnight celebrity attacks in cases. And I think that this is an example of when Black people especially, this is when that stick together community needs to come into place, because you are seeing a lot of Black people post negative things about Jay-Z. And this isn't even something that's actually in the court case yet. Like, this is just something that's alleged, So at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm really curious to see how this plays out. I don't have anything bad to say about Jay-Z, because at the end of the day, this is just alleged until there's any type of proof. I could go out here and say that Jay-Z tried to do something to me when I was 10. I could do that. Anybody can do that. We have to make the people who have these alleged false claims accountable. And again, if he has truly not done this, I definitely think that the person who made these alleged allegations against him needs to be held to the same aggression, media, everything that we are currently now holding Jay-Z to. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think about this new allegations with Jay-Z. Leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next episode.